Word. Okay. Let me open my question. Sorry. This whole like shutdown with Facebook has really thrown off my whole day. I don't
Right?
like it. Okay, so first I guess I want everyone to know kind of who you are and what was your journey leading up to here? How did you find Thrive? Because I'm still a little unsure of that too. I've only met you one time in Florida. So go ahead and tell us who you are and how you got started.
Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Shay, and I am now a 40K. I remember last time I was like, I will be 40K, but I have been in this journey. This is my, actually, oh my gosh, today's my 1 year. This is crazy. I didn't even know. Okay, so today's my 1 year. That's awesome. Totally forgot. But it's been a year since I clicked promoter button, and it all started when my sister Jessica reached out to me. We were in a previous network marketing gig before, and honestly I slid out. I was like, I can't do this. It's not for me. I don't really care for how like things are done, and I didn't see success, and I was really like, I can't do it, which was kind of hard because that's your sister, and I never wanted to like cause like a problem. But she stayed and remained loyal. And then one random day she texted me and was like, hey, can I call you? And I was like, okay, yeah, like what's going on? And I remember her just asking me like, why did you leave and what was the reasonings and things like that. And I just, was really honest with her. I was like, I didn't like the product. I didn't like how we had to, sell it. And I'm not into that. And that's just not me. And I can't be a part of something like that when I don't feel 100% behind it. Right. So she was like, well, I feel like I've, found something that might work for us. And she explained to me what Thrive was, what Lavelle was. And at the same time that she was calling me, I remember praying and being like, okay, God, I know that like I'm in this dark hole right now. I get it. I'm not sure why, but I need something, right? I got to this desperate, prayer, cry to God that was like, okay, looking at our bills, like our monthly bills, and it's like, there's no way out. Like knowing that I'll never, like, if Austin and I wanted to travel or take the boys anywhere, it just like wouldn't happen, So you start looking at everything and it gets really, really depressing. And that's where I was. I was overweight. I was overwhelmed. I was so tired, and I was a mom of two. Like Jess and I had just had our babies in November. And so we were looking for something, a change, right? Which majority of us who are on here, we were looking for something different. And that's really what it was for us. And Jessica signed like a week ahead of me. And then I decided, you know what? Actually, I think I was supposed to get a sample, and I felt like the enemy was trying to keep me from getting that sample. So I never got the sample. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to go all in, right? I clicked promoter. I ordered my kit, and I never looked back. Like that's literally my story. I just went from there, and it's been a year now, and it's been insane, right?
And what I love, I remember interviewing you last time and you were a 12K, and just to see, like right now interviewing you, your confidence and your growth, oh my gosh, it's so strong. And like you and your sister both look like new people because of this product line. Like when y'all post your before and afters, I'm like, who is that before picture? Like you guys just look so good, and it's just your confidence. I want to be the fourth sister. That is like my goal. I love you guys. So my next question is probably my favorite question I have typed out for you. And I said, tell us about your 11-month journey and what that looked like. Were there ups and downs? How did you keep going when times got hard? And also, did you ever get caught up in like comparing yourself to other people, which caused discouragement?
Okay, so 11 months is a long time. It can be hard. It really, truly can be. And looking back now, I just get teary because it wasn't always easy. And I know it's so easy. like we get caught up in watching another person's story. We get caught up in another person's journey. We get caught up in how fast someone goes. And the reality is, how are you going to grow that way? You can't grow when you're constantly looking at someone else. So for me, walking into this, I put this in my head. There's no quitting, Shay. There's no quitting. Okay. No matter what, we're not quitting. Like, that's just constant in my head. So if your mind isn't there, you need to get there, because you will look for every excuse in the book to just leave, to quit, to do whatever. Like, anything can come up and you'd be like, okay, it's a sign, you know? But for me, it was like from the get-go, I was not quitting. I don't care what's going to happen. I don't care how fast I'll go. I don't care how slow I go. I will remain. Like, I will continue on. So when I started, I wanted to be as authentic as I possibly could be. That was my main thing with my previous company, was like, I felt like a facade. Like, I felt like it was fake, and I could not do fake. And I wanted to be as real as possible. And so from the start, I went live. From the start, I would share my journey, my weight loss journey, my mom journey, how I'm doing life, you know, like I shared everything, and I did not withhold anything. I wanted everyone to see me every single day. I wanted you to see my journey. I wanted to see my growth. And so for the last 11 months, that's how I've done it. Like, that's how I do my business, is just by keeping it as real as possible. So, with 11 months and I actually hit 12K pretty quickly. I hit it within the second month. So that was actually a really great deal. Like that was awesome. But I will share with you guys tonight, and I don't know if I've really shared about this part, but when I hit 12K, Austin and I got the cars and we got the auto bonuses. I did it on my account and on his account. And, you know, everything was really great except for my husband's job. And so my business was like growing. My business was taking off. It was awesome. And I really was going fast. And even in August, I was at like 30,000. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 40K soon. Like, this is so awesome. And my husband and I decided that, like, yeah, he could step away from his job of working the graveyard shift and try something different. And when that happened, it didn't happen like I thought it would, you know? So I will say this. I'm actually so grateful that I got the car when I got it, because it held me to a level of accountability that nobody else could, right? I had my car. I had two. And I knew that I had to have those paid for. So as much as it's like a risk, and it was a huge risk, the thing is, it kept me accountable. It was an investment in my business. It was part of my business. So here I was, not just trying to pay the rent, pay all our bills, pay for the cars, pay for anything and everything that came up. I had to keep it together. And I never really shared that, because I think, you know, I never want to be like it's all about me kind of thing, or like, you know, look what I'm doing, look how much I've done. But it was freaking hard. But that was probably the time I could have quit, right? August came around. I almost hit the end of July came around. I was almost 40K. August hit and it went like out, like nothing. It was gone. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? And having those doubts and having those fears and the insecurities just like flooding in. And the fact that it was like coincide with my husband not having a job, that is so scary, and that's so hard to do. But I will say to you, I feel like God allowed that to happen so that my hustle never stopped, that my determination never like faltered. Like, I kept going even when it didn't make any sense. Like normally when that happens, I would have been like, okay, honey, like go get a job right now. We can't do this. I don't know how we're going to pay for this. How is this going to happen? And I wanted to just like freak out. Naturally, that would be what would happen. But I just told myself, you can do this. We can do this. God's not brought you this far for this. Like he's not going to leave you here. You didn't come this far to just walk away or quit or say you can't do it. Instead, it was like, nope, I'm doing this. I'm going to just literally do anything and everything I can to make this happen. And I'm not kidding you when I say this. And if you're not religious, or I'm not like religious, but if you don't believe in God, I'm sorry. But for me personally, I would pray like, God, bring me the right people. Bring me the people you want in my realm. Bring me the people that need this. And out of nowhere, they would be popping in like just crazy. And I remember, and I want to just say this to you guys. Something that I wanted to say was envisioning your paycheck. I remember talking about this financially. You know, if you can't write it out, if you don't know where your money's going, then you're not going to appreciate it, right? My money was going to rent. My money was going to pay for our livelihood. So I had to literally like manifest that this was happening. And I remember being on the phone with Jess and being like, we need $800. Like we need $800 to pay for our rent. Like it's just like insane. Like that just can't happen, right? And I remember being like, you know, I don't know how this will work like this, but it was Tuesday and we were about to check our checking account and everything. And I'm like, we need 800. And I remember looking and it was like my check that week was $790, guys. And I literally could not even believe my eyes, but I knew that like God was there with me and he was bringing me what I needed at that time. My hustle never wavered. Like I never stopped regardless of what like I wanted to naturally feel, right? I wanted to just give in. I wanted to quit. I wanted to feel like I couldn't do this, but I just never ever stopped. And I remember that time specifically because like how insane is that? Like that's what I needed. And it was like, there it was. And so envisioning that rent check, envisioning that like this money is going towards this, or this is what this is going to go for. This is how much I need, or this is how like I'm doing this. This is why, you know, like having that in front of you makes such a difference. And I know I'm probably getting off and everything, but it was a loaded question. So
no, that was so good. And oh my gosh, you're making me emotional. You know, I think the biggest parts of, you know, being, if you want to own the title like boss babe, entrepreneur, like it's not all pretty pictures and nice cars. Like it's hustle. It's doing a lot of investing in yourself and your mind, sometimes with your money, even when you're not reaping those rewards right away, knowing that if you stay the course and you stay consistent, they do benefit. And I remember, that's so powerful. I remember in the beginning of February, because I like have you as C first because I love seeing your posts, and you posted like your year-to-date commissions, and this is when you were at 12K, and I'm like, damn, she is a high paid 12K. And what I want you guys to understand is when you detach yourself from a rank, you know, the biggest parts of our compensation plan, and I will tell you right now, check matching and unilevel commissions. Like the more people that you get to 4K and 12K that you personally sponsor, that check's going to grow and grow and grow. And, you know, it's having personally enrolled leaders. And I have had 40K checks that are bigger than 80K checks. I've had 80K checks that are bigger than 200K checks. You can't attach yourself to the rank. You have to attach yourself to the work and growing leadership under you. Because when I saw those year-to-date commissions, like the second week of February, I was like, she's making what some 40Ks make. And like, that was, so I was like, and you hustled through those seasons. And a lot of people, you know, they get there and they're like, man, I'm not made for this. I'm not going to get anywhere. And they leave. And it's like, if you were to just hold on for 5 or 6 more months, like I'm so proud to see, like, did you go to tears when you got your bonus yesterday? Did that bring you to tears? Yeah, I can't even imagine. That's, woo, That's crazy. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us. That was so powerful. Now let's dive into the good stuff, because everyone's obsessed with just your authenticity. That's what I love about you and what you said. You know, from the beginning, you've shared your mom life, you've shared your weight loss, you've shared, you know, your struggles. And it's almost like you've had like this Facebook vlog, like you're always live. Even when you would get on in the morning and there'd be 2 to 3 people on, you were like, I don't care. Like there's 3 people on here. I'm going to talk to these 3 people. And you were consistent. And still to this day, it's like Shay Miller's live. I'm like, gotta see what she's talking about today. So, you know, did that authenticity like help you with people reaching out to you and growing your social media? Like, why has that been so important to you, and how has that helped you?
Yeah, absolutely. My team probably gets so tired of hearing me say go live, because I am such a big believer in going live. And something I actually wrote down from my notes from my children is anyone can post, anyone can do a copy paste. No one's going to be able to tell your story like you can, right? Nobody can take your story and try and share it like the way you can. Maybe someone else can share your story, but you sharing your story will change the world. Like, it's crazy what can happen when you actually put the walls down and start just talking, like sharing where you've been, where you've come from, where you're planning on going, why you're going there. Like I said, you know, a lot of times when we're going VIP, we say, you know, do a mysterious post and things like that. No, I went live because I was like, I'm holding myself to a standard of being uncomfortable. I need to do this in order to really push myself past a point I've never been, because I wanted results I never had. And so for me, I was like, I'm going to keep it as real as I possibly can. If that means no makeup on in the morning with my crazy kids and my house a mess, then I'm going to do it. And so I remember, like, I had hives like up to my neck on my first live, but I was like, just sharing, like, there's something big about to happen. Something is going to change my life right now, and I want you all to be aware of it. Like, that's how I was. And I constantly tell my girls, going live is actually probably one of the best things you could do for your business, because, well, first of all, it's like a scientific fact that people will actually watch your live more than they will read your actual post. People want to see you. They want to know what your hands are doing. They want to see your face. They want to know your facial expressions. They want to hear your voice. So the more you can do that, the more connected they are, right? They feel connected in such a way that they feel inspired. Every time I go live, I have someone connect with me, whether it's for a product or not. It's a connection that I'm making, right? Because I say this all the time. When you choose to be brave, you're releasing bravery in someone else, because it's attractive, it's contagious, and it's such a beautiful thing. So when you come into this business and you're kind of hitting those roadblocks and you're not sure why, ask yourself, are you telling your story, or are you telling someone else's? Like, are you being honest enough with your audience that they feel connected to you? Do they believe your story? You know, we have so many other network marketing companies out there, and everybody knows how to post. Everybody knows how to do the unfold stories now. It's like everywhere, right? But a lot of people are not authentic. A lot of people aren't real. A lot of people don't share the hard stuff. They don't share, you know, they're not bold with their words. And to me, if I can do something, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to be different. I want to step out. I want to make an impact in the world. I don't just want to sell a product, you know? So you've got to just kind of readjust things. Maybe you don't go live for a while. Maybe you just do a Instagram story with your face, you know, for 2 seconds. Whatever it may be, take the wall down. The wall needs to come out. I don't know how you get it out, but just get it out of the way, and really share your heart, share your story. And for me, that's what's changed my business. That's how I've done it from the beginning. And I honestly believe it's why I went 12K within 2 months, because think about it. When you first start out and your energy is like insane, and your passion is all there, your fire is all there. If you can run with that same thing like you did with VIPs, or you did with your 4K bonus, or whatever it may be, if you can continue to do that and then duplicate that with your team, with people under you, just forget it. Like, your team, your whole thing will blow up. It will be insane. You'll literally be like, what is even happening? Which is what I'm doing now.
Gosh, your growth is just like, I'm going to rewatch this. I can't wait to put it up on YouTube. And just, it's so true. When we are trying to be like other people and post like other people and constantly share other people's success and everyone else's results, it's like we're losing ourselves in the process. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, and your audience will appreciate that. Your followers, they've seen you go from day one, not knowing what the hell you're doing, to two beautiful brand new Audis, and now earning a bonus. And they're like, wow, she stayed consistent that full 11 months. So I love that. I'm not going to talk too much because these next couple questions are good. And I'm sure everyone wants to know your tips for this, and it is your tips for enrolling, and before we dive into that, what you just said is you connect every single day. You get on your Facebook Live, and that's the foundation of what we do. It's relationships and it's connecting, and those two things together lead to conversations, which leads to enrollments and leads to samples. So what are your top tips for enrolling customers and promoters? And don't leave anything out.
Okay, so when I first began, our company had like all these crazy incentives and stuff. And so it was really easy to enroll with that, right? When they do the $25 credits and things like that. So that was easy. But once that left, it was kind of like, okay, where do we go from here? And honestly, my results personally, from losing, like, I'm almost 40 pounds down, has literally helped me enroll, consistently. Being able to show my before and afters, being able to show what the products have actually done for me. So, but I will be honest, like, once you get to a certain point, oh no, can you hear me, see?
You're good. You went black for a second, but now you're back. You're good.
I'm gonna have to hold my phone because I have to charge it. Okay, so you can still hear me, right? So once I went, once that carried me through for so long, there's only so many people that there's only so many before and afters you can post before it's like, okay, we get it, right? So I decided, like, probably whenever it was, I don't know, probably in October, it was like, okay, Shay, we kind of need to do our own thing, right? So I started doing incentives, and I use majority of my credits for new customers or reoccurring customers. And honestly, it's been what works for me, like always throwing an incentive out. Think about it. Like, there's so many different health and wellness companies out there, but how many people can actually give credits towards something? Our company is amazing with allowing us to have credits each month, and I earn them on my husband's account and my account. So this last month, and I'm not even joking, I'm like out of DFTs until tomorrow when I get my new ones, but that's because I literally gave everything out. I did not withhold anything. And, if that meant I had to go without my shakes for a couple of days, then I went without my shakes, right? So for me, having those credits has been such a reward to getting other people to actually commit. So think about it. If you can work with someone's budget and you have, and I know, Katie, you've mentioned this before, we're just like, here, I can pay for your shipping, or let me give you this, when you can offer that, people are like, wow, that's so nice of you. Like, that's such a big deal. Even if it's $20, even if it's 25 or whatever it may be, if you can hold on to some of those credits and share them out, I guarantee you'll see something change, something shift. So for me, Once like I kind of had my team fall out underneath me after August, it was almost like a rebuilding stage. And so something shifted in my mind where it was no longer about Shay, right? It was about others. It was about how many people can I help? And I will never, ever stop saying that, because that's what changed my business. That's what has brought me to 40K, because I shifted that perspective. It was no longer, I need my bonus, or I need my check, or this is what I need. It was like, how can I help someone out? So that way is, talking to your potentials. We hear this all the time. Like, we have amazing training, but that's the truth, is like, I talk to them. What results are you looking for? If they come to me, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about my weight loss. I'm not talking about what it's done for me, because they've already seen it. They wouldn't be coming to me unless they had. So I always change the conversation onto them. So, if someone's like, hey, what are the 3 steps? Hey, what are you looking for? Are you looking for energy? Like, right away. We don't even I don't need to chit chat anything. Like, I need to know what you're coming to me for. And when you do that, you're saving a lot of time, but you're also keeping them engaged, right? We only have a short amount of time to really get them to be really fully committed. So I just totally see what they need. If they need something and they're like, I need weight loss. So that's when I would talk to them about myself. This is what I've used. This is how I've gotten these results.
Okay, hold on. I have to mute you out real fast and bring you back in. Okay, Shay, go ahead and unmute yourself again. Sorry, I have to mute everyone because someone was unmuted. Okay, go back. You're good. Thank you.
So, that's when I would talk to them and be like, okay, well, this is what I've used. And then as soon as I say that, I'll say, what is your budget? Everyone has a budget, right? Everyone. Nobody wants to say what their budget is, or come out and be like, hey, I can't spend all that. So if they are vague about it, I'll give them hey, is it 100, 200? Because think about it, guys. Yes, our 3 steps are amazing, but if I can get someone started on balance, I'm getting them on 3 steps. You know what I'm saying? When I start someone off with one product, that is better than no product, right? So if I can get you on balance and put $15 credits towards it, and that is how I'm going to seal your deal, then that's how I'm doing it. And the same for promoters. Promoters can be scary. That's scary. You're thinking you're signing your life away. You're not really, but a lot of times they think that. And it's hey, if I can give you, and I've done this out of my own pocket, $50 towards this, would that help you? If I could help you in some way, I'm going to. That's just who I am. That's how I feel like that's what this world needs. We don't need another person wanting it to be about them. We need more people that are willing to help another get started, because sometimes they don't know. They don't know if they have it in them. They don't know if they're good at it. They don't know what our products could do for them. They don't know. So sometimes we need to help them a little bit. And that's really what I've done. And working with them, working with their budget, working with the time. Sometimes, and I want to say this is a huge deal, guys. Not everybody signs right away. And Courtney says this all the time, and I say it too. It's just no means not now. I'm never going to take a no as a no, an actual no. That's just not me. It's not happening. I say this to my team all the time. It's a not now. I cannot tell you how many times people have come to me, say they're going to order, ready to go, and then I never hear from them. And then 4, 5, 6 months later, they're back in my inbox. They're ready to go. Let's do it. It's what? Okay. But the thing is, you can't let a no, or even if they're ghosting you, it annoys me to death. I cannot handle people doing that. But I have so many promoters on my team right now that can tell you they ignored me. they ignored me for a very long time, and now there are 12Ks or there's 4Ks or whatever. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to still do me. I'm still going to show you that I'm not doing, I'm not going anywhere. I'm consistent as can be. And when you're ready to actually take the step, that's when I'm going to be here. I'm not going to accept a no. So just be encouraged that if you've done this and you've tried, and we all get ghosted. Nobody's above that. Nobody's like, it's not that like Katie and them go out and they're just like, okay, they're just sign everybody right away. It doesn't always work that way. And you can't think it does. Don't get discouraged if you're not getting responses right away. Don't get discouraged if people, say they're going to order and then they don't talk to you. Like, let them do them and let them watch. But that's where the trick comes in. If you can stay consistent, you're building trust. You're building a security for them. And they are going to come to you when they're ready. And they're going to place a massive order. And it's going to be awesome. And you're going to be so happy. So I'm just hoping, I think I answered that correctly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
That was golden. That was so good. And we're like perfect on time because it's 9:30 and I have one more question. And, I put this question in here and it's not like super business training, but I think people need to understand it. Balance is important. And it's something I've had to learn because I used to feel like I had to answer every text, every message, right then and there. And I really learned like I have a family to take care of. I have a 5-year-old. I have, a fiance that works all day and comes home. So I tell my girls a lot of time, if you message me from, 5 to 9 p.m., that's really our dinner time, our pickup time, our cleanup, bath, family time. I might not get back with you, but I'll get back with you the following day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just setting those boundaries to where don't get so caught up in being on your phone that you forget why you're doing this. Don't have your husband look at you and be like, you've been on your phone for 45 minutes. Are you going to pay attention to us? I booked a Zoom or a Facebook Live every night this week, but I know next week I'm going to have nothing on my calendar in the evenings, and that's going to go to my family. You have to have balance and put your phone down and unplug and spend time with your kids. Those messages will be there in 30 minutes when you take your kids to school or when they go down for a nap. So my question for you is, how do you manage, having two, how old are your boys?
1 and 3.
Oh God, how do you manage, having a 1 and 3-year-old, being a wife? And I love that your husband is I love his little picture the other day of his team sales. I was like, that's totally Shay's husband, and running a successful business. Can you just give us, a quick glimpse into like a day with you, how you set your boundaries and what works for you?
Yeah. So kind of similar to how you are like having your block time. I work around my husband's schedule, and I'm so blessed that he is able to kind of really help me. He realizes that like business is taking off, and like it always has been, busy for me. So he's been so supportive and so like helpful, but, with his schedule, I usually get the morning. So, learning how to be wise with your time is one of the biggest things about this business, because there have been a lot of times where I was spread thin and I'm like, what is even happening right now? And I couldn't figure out why. But, Jess is my FaceTime buddy. She's my upline, and I love having her in my life. And so, she would say to me, put your phone down, Shay. Because I'm that person. I don't put my phone down, like, because I am always going, like, I'm a go until someone tells me, or I'm like in the hospital. So learning that has been difficult for me. I'll be honest, doesn't come natural. But for me and my husband, having that open communication has been really great. So in the morning, I get a block time before he goes to work. He goes to work at like around noontime. So from, a couple hours to do my IPAs is what we call income producing activities, right? So getting a self-development in, or getting my Instagram stories together, getting my posts together, talking to my team, working through, something I do with my team every day is like, send me your trackers. Let's see the trackers, right? We got to see those trackers, keep on track, checking in with them, doing all those things in a very condensed amount of time. But if you're not being wise with your time, you're going to be spinning your wheels. It's so true. And everybody is busy. Like we all are. If we're not, then you should be. We're all busy. So we have to be wise with our time. And for me, getting that done in the morning really relieves a lot of stress because I know I've done it. Like I did my IPAs. I've been able to do it. If I had someone connect with me, then I like try and write back, in the morning. So finding that time, as like you just said, Katie, like night times is not your thing. Like mine, I'm with my boys by myself. So I don't really usually have any time from this time till this time, in the evening. So learning to find out what works for your schedule, what works for your family's schedule, blocking that time out and being very productive with it will change your business for you. Don't get to the point where you're like, I don't know what to post. No, in that time, find that self-development that's going to spark something for you so that you can post something. Or even the night before, guys, I am doing my IPAs too. Like if I know my morning's going to be busy or I'm not going to have enough time, right before bed, I'm going to go through my Instagram. I'm going to do my Captivate real quick. I'm going to interact as much as possible. I'm going to get my posts prepared so that I'm not bombarded or not feeling stressed or not feeling overwhelmed or whatnot. So I feel like that is just essential. Being really productive with a little amount of time is really going to change things for you and the way your business goes.
And you'll find what works for you. And there are some nights where I'm on my phone for an hour talking to a customer, making sure we're working around her budget, getting all her information in. And then there's nights where my team reaches out to me and I'm like, listen, I love you, but my cup's, it's empty. I'll get back with you tomorrow when I can. Like you're
Right.
allowed to say, my mental health is not at its best right now. I will get back with you when I can. That's what makes you, a great leader, and just setting those boundaries and having a healthy balance of, work and career and just in this business. And, I'm addicted to the grind. So it's hard for me to put my phone down, but, because I know the results it's going to produce, but I also know that I'm doing this to spend more time with my kids. So that means, I'm going to go put my phone on the charger until this time and set an alarm, and I'm going to be off my phone for 3 hours. So Shay, girl, I'm so inspired and proud of you. Like like I said, when I interviewed you last time, you were like, I'm soon to be 40K, and you were at 12K. And your growth, your confidence has gone to a new level. And I know next time I'm interviewing you, you'll be an 80K. I have no doubt that you're not going to slow down. You're going to keep going. So, 40K was so great. Thank you so much. If you could end it with just one quick tip, what would you say? I didn't prepare you for that.
One thing I would say is if you've been struggling, try and find someone to help. If you have hit a roadblock, if you're discouraged, find someone else to uplift or someone else to pour into, and it will change your life.
Yes.
So that's all.
All right, guys, we're going to just end it at that. Thank you for hopping on. I'll have Em upload this to YouTube and post it to the page. So I hope you guys all have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.